James Patrick Bulger was a boy on the cusp of his third birthday. He lived with his family in Kirkby, near Liverpool, England, a place familiar with the rhythms of everyday life. On the morning of Friday, 12th February 1993, he accompanied his mother, Denise, on a routine trip to the New Strand shopping centre in the nearby town of Bootle. It was an ordinary day, filled with errands and the hum of a busy hub. In a fleeting moment, one that would stretch into an eternity of consequence, James was briefly out of his mother's direct line of sight. In this small window, the ordinary shattered, and a story began that would scar the national psyche. The disappearance was any parent's worst nightmare, a lost child in a crowded space. An announcement sounded, a frantic search began. Security and shoppers joined in as minutes turned to hours. In the immediate aftermath of the discovery, the investigation intensified, now a murder inquiry. The breakthrough came from closed-circuit television, CCTV. Officers reviewed hours of footage, and a haunting image emerged. James Bulger being led by the hand out of the shopping centre by two older boys. Its deceptive calm made it deeply unsettling. He did not appear to struggle like a little brother guided by siblings, an illusion masking a terrifying reality. This visual evidence focused the investigation and the public's understanding. Witness appeals asked anyone who'd seen the trio to come forward. Slowly, a timeline formed from dozens of accounts. Witnesses recalled the small boy in distress, crying with visible marks, yet many did not intervene, assuming a family dispute. This failure to act sparked public guilt and debate. The boys were identified: Robert Thompson and John Venables, both 10. The disappearance sent unease through the community, and quickly, the country. It tapped into a primal fear, the vulnerability of the very young. Appeals spread across television and newspaper front pages. The nation held its breath. It became a symbol of a perceived loss of innocence, a breach of the unspoken social contract to protect the vulnerable. People across Britain felt personally connected to the unfolding tragedy, imagining the terror of James's parents and the chilling silence where a child's voice should have been. Hope that he would be found safe became a shared prayer. But foreboding grew. On Sunday, 14th February, the grim discovery was made. James Bulger's body was found on a railway line in Walton, about 2.5 miles away, plunging Britain into shock and grief. The trial began in November 1993 at Preston Crown Court. The proceedings were unlike any in modern British legal history. The boys sat in a specially adapted raised dock, accompanied by social workers. The court balanced the demands of a murder trial with the needs of 10-year-olds. Evidence was meticulous: CCTV, witness testimony, and forensic findings. A key hurdle: overcoming the presumption of dole incapax. They had to show the boys knew their actions were seriously wrong. The defense argued troubled upbringings and limited moral capacity. The trial widened into debates on innocence and culpability. After 17 days, the jury delivered its verdict. Both were found guilty, the youngest convicted murderers in modern English legal history. Anonymity was lifted. Their names and images were revealed. They were detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, an indeterminate juvenile sentence, igniting national debate on punishment versus rehabilitation. Media coverage was intense, pervasive, and highly controversial. From the first reports, the story dominated bulletins and front pages. Visceral outrage reflected and amplified public anger. For James's family, publicity helped the search, but turned private grief public. Their pain became a national spectacle. In time, Denise Fergus became a powerful advocate for victims' rights. Coverage of the boys raised ethical questions about dehumanization and justice. Sentencing debates intensified. In 1994, Home Secretary Michael Howard increased the minimum tariff to 15 years. In 1999, the European Court ruled politicians could not set sentences and that the adult court atmosphere denied a fair trial. The tariff returned to roughly 8 years. In 2001, both were released on license with lifelong anonymity, divisive then and now. Release at 18 met fear and fury, especially from James Bulger's family. anonymity aimed to protect lives and enable rehabilitation. Supporters called it necessary. Opponents saw offenders' rights eclipsing the victim's family. Later recalls of John Venables reignited anger and doubts. The case reshaped youth justice policy and public opinion for decades. The grainy image of James being led away helped create a CCTV society. Parenting shifted toward greater supervision and risk aversion. Decades on, the story still resonates with singular, tragic power. It remains a benchmark for horror, a source of national grief, and a complex moral fable. How do we prevent such acts? Balance retribution with rehabilitation? How can we make sense of a crime that defies reason? The memory of James challenges our understanding of humanity, justice, and childhood itself.